Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. He abused me, he struck me, he overpowered me, he robbed me. Those who think in this way are never free of hatred. He abused me, he struck me, he overpowered me, he robbed me. Those who let go of such thoughts realize freedom from hatred. Hatred is never appeased by hatred in this world. By compassion alone is hatred appeased. This is the law of eternal. Thus spoke Shakyamuni Buddha from the Dhammapada. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Wow, good morning, everyone. This is so fun to see everybody on Zoom. We do this at my temple, too, in San Mateo every Sunday, so it's fun to have different scenery and to see everybody who has their cameras on. If you want to switch on your camera, feel free. Of course, if you prefer not to, that's fine, too. So I'm honored to be with you this morning, to be visiting my good Dharma friend, Reverend Miyagi, here at his home temple for the first time since he came here about over a year ago, right? We've gotten together a few times, kind of outdoor, safe, socially distanced play dates, but it's been fun to actually come to your temple. There's a saying of one of the Myokonin, Shoma, who said that he would always go and visit his friends at their homes, and he would always, when he went into a house, the first thing he would do would go to the Obutsudan, join his hands in Gassho, and he would take note of everything that was inside the Obutsudan, and if things were kind of dusty and the flowers were a little bit wilted and things weren't really kind of in a nice neat order, he would say, "Kono Hotoke-sama wa yasete masu ne." Says this Buddha it looks like he's lost a lot of weight. He's really skinny. And if he saw an Obutsudan that was very nicely dusted and well prepared, beautiful, fresh osonai, he would say, kono Hotoke-sama yo futotte imasu ne. This Buddha is very well fed. And so coming into your temple today, I thought, wow, you have a very well fed Buddha here at Southern Alameda County Buddhist Temple. Reverend Miyagi is just doing a wonderful job of maintaining the Hondo, and just stepping in here, it brought back a flood of memories from all the times I've gotten to visit you in the past. And so I know that we're all feeling the distance and the sadness of being separated from our Hondo, but rest assured your Hondo is being very well taken care of and is ready for you to come on back and join once it's safe for all of us to be together. Also, you have great ventilation here. There's a nice cross breeze blowing through, so when it is time to come in person, you'll be nice and safe. So we're gathered here. I came this morning across the bridge. I came from the western shore of the San Francisco Bay here to the eastern shore to share my appreciation of the Dharma with you on this occasion of Ohigan, when the sun sets directly in the west, and we reflect upon the direction of our own lives. And this is an occasion where we often look to the teaching of the 6 paramitas for guidance. Do you know the 6 paramitas? Right? The 6 paramitas are generosity, ethical living or right conduct, patience, diligence, concentration, and wisdom. Right? These 6 things that we try to do every day in our lives as Buddhists, these things that we're inspired to do by the Buddha's teachings. So today, I want to talk a little bit about one of these specifically. And for me, this is the hardest one. I don't know which one is the hardest for you, but for me, the practice of patience is really difficult, really difficult. I have 3 children at home. I have 3 sons. And so the practice of patience is a daily practice for me. And my sons, they come to service, just like Keisai-kun and some of the other Dharma school students I see here. And whenever I give a Dharma talk, my son always tells me, he always gives me a little bit of feedback afterwards when I get home. And if I don't tell a story about animals, he always tells me, I like it when you tell a story about animals. So I'm going to hear his guidance, and I'm going to share one of my favorite Dharma stories that is a story about animals. And this is a story, we call this a Jataka tale. It's a story about Shakyamuni Buddha. At the start of my talk, I read some words of Shakyamuni Buddha, and this is a story about his life before he became a Buddha. And this was a previous lifetime. And so in this story, there are a few different characters. There are three main characters. And so as you listen to this story, think about, who do you think is the Buddha? Which of these beings do you think went on to become the Buddha? So this is a story about a forest. And in this forest, there lived a great, strong ox. You know what an ox is? Right? It's like a big cow, like a big bull. A great, strong bull with long, sharp horns, powerful legs, a great strong back. And this ox lived in the forest. And for the most part, this ox lived at peace. Except there was one other being, one other animal in the forest who was always around the ox and who gave him quite a bit of trouble. And this creature, this animal, was a monkey, right? And so this monkey just loved to bother and pester the ox, right? If you have brothers and sisters, or maybe, friends in the neighborhood that you play with, do you know somebody who loves to bug other people, who loves to pester other people? Yeah, I know some people at my house who seems like their favorite recreational activity is bothering other people. But so that was this monkey. And when he woke up in the morning, he was a big ox, he was a strong ox, and he would wake up and he would be very hungry. And he would go and he would search for grass, and he would find a nice patch of luxuriant, delicious grass. And just as he was about to bend down to take a bite of this grass, do you know who would appear? The monkey. And the monkey would say, monkey got up early this morning. Nap time for monkey. And the monkey would lie down right in the grass where the ox was about to eat and start rolling around in the grass, over here, over there. And every time the ox would go to take a bite, the monkey would roll over to right where the ox was going to bite. And then when he went over to the other spot, the monkey would roll back. And he would do this for a while, and then finally he'd get bored and let the ox eat the grass that had been all matted down and smashed, right? What an obnoxious monkey. Then after the ox had had his delicious breakfast, he'd be kind of thirsty. He'd say, I'm going to go have a drink. I think I'll find the river. And he'd make his way over to the river. And just as he was about to bend down and start to drink from the river, who would appear? But the monkey. The monkey would immediately jump in the river and say, bath time for monkey! And he'd start splashing around and jumping and making a mess in the water, stirring up all the dirt. So what had been a nice, clean, clear stream would be all muddy and dirty, and the ox is getting splashed in his face. And such an obnoxious monkey, right? Then at the end of the day, after the ox has been putting up with the monkey all day, he's ready to lie down and go to sleep. He lies down on the ground and finds his nice spot, and the monkey says, it's time for monkey to get a ride. Monkey needs a ride. And monkey would jump on the ox's back. He would grab a stick and he would start whacking the monkey in the back and say, come on, yeehaw, giddy up, let's go. And the poor ox could hardly get a wink of sleep, constantly being harassed by this monkey. Then one day, there was a forest sprite. A sprite is kind of like a fairy, kind of like a magical being, kind of like a person, but with special magical powers. And this forest sprite came into the forest and saw that this monkey was harassing the ox and was like, what is going on here? And so the sprite went to the ox and said, excuse me, Mr. Ox, why do you put up with this obnoxious monkey? Did you lose a bet with the monkey that you have to put up with him? Does the monkey know some secret about you that you don't want to get out? Right? Has the monkey bought you? Did he pay some money to own you as his livestock? Why do you put up with this naughty monkey? Look at you, you're the ox. You're the most respected creature in the forest. Even the lion fears you. Even the queen of the elephants steps aside when she sees you coming through the forest. You have such sharp horns, just one poke, and you'd have no more problems with the monkey. You have such strong legs, you could kick him right out of this forest. Why do you put up with him? What's wrong with you? And the ox said, it's true. This monkey is very mischievous. He's a troublemaker. But all beings have a good heart inside. And I know that if I'm patient, perhaps one day the monkey will come to appreciate his actions. He'll come to realize how much trouble he's causing, and he too can become a kind and gentle creature. The forest sprite said, What? If you think like that, right, you'll never escape torment. You're never going to be free of his obnoxious behavior. You got to show him a lesson. And the ox said, if happiness is what a person wants, inflicting harm on others is not the way to become happy. You'll never receive happiness by harming others and taking vengeance on other people. The path to happiness is the path of patience, the practice of patience. And I practice patience in order to rouse, to awaken in him kindness in his heart. The sprite heard this and said, Patience, that's great, patience. I want to learn to be patient. Teach me to be patient. Come on, let me know right now. What do I have to do to be patient? How do I become patient? Tell me now. Right? And the ox said, well, there are ways that you can be patient. The best way to learn to be patient is to have a real rascal. Kindness and gentleness, kind and gentle creatures, you don't have to be patient. If someone's really nice to you, it doesn't require much patience to be around them. What you need is a good monkey. Do you want to borrow mine? I'll happily lend you this monkey. The forest sprite heard this and says, no, that rascal, if he tried his tricks on me, I'd show him some of my own tricks, right? The ox said, I learned to be patient by thinking about this monkey. Sooner or later, he's going to pick on the wrong animal. There are many animals in this forest who could give him a good scare, or maybe even give him a bad beating, right? This monkey must be so lonely, right? No one likes him. Most of the other creatures, when they see him coming, they run the other way. They don't want anything to do with him, right? This monkey is so confused. He doesn't understand what is right and wrong. He doesn't understand the path to kindness. He spends all his time causing trouble just to get attention. He wastes his energy causing problems for others, right? When I think about the monkey in this way, I feel I want to help him, not to harm him. I think about it this way, and I realize that the path to my happiness is to show kindness for the monkey. Now, when the sprite heard this, and he says, that's interesting, I see, I understand. So maybe if I start to think about the troublemakers, the rascals, the bullies in my life, if I start to think about them in this way, I can learn to practice patience too. And thanking the buffalo, thanking the ox, the sprite gave a deep bow of gratitude. Now, the whole time that the ox had been sharing this teaching, the monkey had been listening. He'd been in a tree close by. He climbed down and he said with a deep bow, "I didn't realize that I had such a good friend. How patient and strong you are. How wonderful to have someone like you in my life. Let me be your friend. Please forgive me for all my naughty behavior in the past. Let me learn from you how to practice this wonderful virtue of patience," right? So then the ox and the monkey, they lived together in harmony. And the ox taught the monkey all of these virtues: generosity, upright living, patience, hard work, concentration, and wisdom. Okay? So if you think about this ox and this monkey and the forest sprite, which of these do you think was the Buddha? Okay, so raise your hand if you think the monkey went on to become the Buddha. Okay, I don't see any hands up. Oh, one, okay. Who thinks that the ox went on to become the Buddha? Okay, I see some hands up. Yeah. Who thinks it was the forest sprite? Right? It was the ox. All of you who raised your hand for the ox, that was the answer. So this ox goes on to become the Buddha. Right? And so the Buddha, he continued to teach the path to patience and kindness. He taught one clear message for people like me who have a really hard time with patience. He taught that if we wish to journey to the other shore, to journey to the world of peace and bliss, that all we need to do is to trust in Amida Buddha, to say these words, Namo Amida Buddha. When we say Namo Amida Buddha, we hear the voice of the patient Buddha calling to us. We hear these words reminding us that we are embraced by the compassion of the Buddha. When I hear this story, the character that sounds the most like me is the monkey. I think I'm the monkey, right? I go around causing all kinds of troubles for my wife, for my kids, for the temple members, for all kinds of people. But I'm fortunate that I have the Buddha, the wise ox in my life, teaching me, showing me the path to awakening. When we wish to hear that voice, we only need to say, Namo Amida Buddha. So I'll conclude my message to the Dharma School students here. And thank you very much for spending time this morning. I look forward to a time when we can get together in person and I can hear some of your stories as well. Please join me in Gasha. Namo Amida Buddha. 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 Namo Amida Buddha.